It was September 22nd, 2020, the very last official day of summer in Detroit. The air was cooling down, but for Aaron Mays, better known as Band Gang Jizzle P, it felt like just another regular day. He had music on his mind, studio time locked in, and even plans to shoot a video later that night with another artist. His cousin Jermaine, who spent most of the day with him, said Jizzle had even slid to the mall earlier before chilling at his mom's house, getting ready to meet up with his girlfriend.
Aaron Mays, better known as Jizzle P, was shot in last night while sitting in a car on Detroit's west side.
He wasn't laying low, he wasn't stressed, he was relaxed and at peace. That night, around 8:15 p.m., Jizzle sat in a Chrysler 300 parked right in the driveway of his mother's home on Detroit's west side off Fielding Street near McNichols and Evergreen. Only two people were in that car, Band Gang Jizzle P and his cousin Jermaine. One would walk away, the other wouldn't. They were posted up laughing, cracking jokes, just vibing like normal. Jizzle's mom even stepped outside for a moment, talking with them like everything was good, but then it all flipped in seconds. In a raw and emotional interview later, Jermaine described the ambush that tore his world apart. They were just waiting for Jizzle's girlfriend, calm and cool, when shots rang out. "I wound up losing a real one, you feel me," Jermaine said, his voice heavy with pain. "And not only that, but I almost checked." Jermaine got hit again and again, 3 shots tearing into his stomach, 2 more ripping through his shoulder, all from what he described as an assault rifle. The only reason he made it out alive, he later explained, was pure luck mixed with instinct. At over 6 feet tall, Jermaine had leaned his seat back.
Don't hurt, my soul hurt.
You was perfect.
My soul hurt.
He was perfect.
I watched my son die in my face.
Just enough to twist into the back seat when the ambush started. That small move gave him the sliver of cover he needed as bullets shredded the Chrysler. In the passenger seat though, Jizzle sat upright with nowhere to duck. He had no shield, no time to move. "It went down," Jermaine remembered, his voice low and heavy. Everything else was just homicide music. Even with his body bleeding out, Jermaine refused to give up. "I just kept coaching myself," he said. "You got a mama, you got a sister, you got family that love you." He fought to stay calm, forcing his mind to focus while his body tried to shut down. "I survived for 15 minutes after that," he said.
You ever seen Scooby-Doo when Shaggy and Scooby will run but their clothes will be still standing there? You can do that in real life. If somebody pull a gun out on you, bro, and you know what I'm saying? That's that but I'm saying that's the mindset you gotta have. Because if I just sat there, I would have got my shit pushed back. If I would have just sat there and thought and begged and pleaded and cried and it's survival.
Well, you didn't talk to the person though that day. It was just
I got to the hospital and I had to ask them for oxygen myself. Hours later, Jermaine opened his eyes in the ICU, hooked up to machines, tubes everywhere. His very first question wasn't about himself, it was about his cousin. Was Jizzle okay? His mother and girlfriend tried to comfort him, telling him Jizzle was still in surgery, but deep down, Jermaine already knew. "They didn't want me to go in a different state," he said, "but I knew." Jizzle's mom had witnessed the nightmare unfold right in front of her house. "I watched my son pass away," she said later, her voice breaking. "My heart don't hurt, my soul hurt." All she could remember were flashes of gunfire. So blinding, she couldn't even see the shooter's face, just bursts of light and smoke filling the night. In just seconds, everything changed forever. Her son's body slumped over in the driver's seat, bleeding out in the same spot where he had just been laughing minutes earlier.
Couldn't see his face at all. The fire from the gun, it was just too...
Beside him, Jermaine, hit by 15 bullets, was somehow still clinging to life. One tore through his stomach, another shattered his shoulder, and a third ripped into his foot. Even with his body breaking down, he locked in on one thing: just breathe. By the time paramedics pulled up, he was hanging on by the thinnest thread. Neighbors came rushing outside, shaken by the blast echoing through the block. One remembered the chilling screams that cut through the quiet night. Detroit police arrived fast, sealing off the street, scooping up shell casings, but the shooter had already melted into the darkness. No one could say where he came from or where he vanished to. All witnesses remembered were blinding flashes and the roar of gunfire. The city felt heavy in the days that followed. Fans, friends, and fellow artists.
I just got back from fishing, and I was coming out of the basement and into the kitchen, and I heard about 8 gunshots.
Flooded social media with heartbreak. Posts poured in. some in shock, others full of anger, but every single one carried the same raw message. Jizzle was never supposed to go out like this. Within hours, Band Gang affiliates began showing love. Band Gang Javar wrote, "I appreciate the love, but I don't want sympathy. Just respect AJ's family." Weeks later, Band Gang Biggs admitted he still couldn't wrap his head around it. "I still don't believe it," he said. On Detroit's west side, where Band Gang was celebrated as hometown heroes, grief was everywhere. Candles flickered on curbs, memorials popped up overnight, and crowds came together to mourn, trying to process the loss. Through it all, Jizzle's mom stood in front of cameras, her pain impossible to hide. "He don't want me to cry. He don't want me to mourn," she said, her voice breaking as she tried to stay strong. After Jizzle's death, Band Gang Lonnie Band stepped forward with a powerful statement. "Dear fans, we appreciate all the love and support pouring in and the well wishes for us, our fallen comrades, and their families. Please be reminded that the content and depictions reflected in our music and social media platforms are for entertainment purposes only. We do not condone or encourage retaliation on any level, in any form, against anyone whatsoever. We pray for peace and blessings upon our families and our great city of Detroit." Those words hit heavy, but to really understand what Jizzle represented, you gotta understand Band Gang as a whole. Rising out of Detroit in the early 2000s, the group carved their identity with bold lyrics, raw visuals, and a street image that blended flashy luxury with gritty hustle. Each member had their own unique style, but together, they built a machine that ran Detroit's underground rap scene long before the mainstream tuned in. Their sound helped shape what the world would later recognize as Detroit's scam rap. Minimalist beats, rugged offbeat flows, and bars centered around money, finesse, and power. It was a style that spread fast, inspiring countless rappers who...
It happened. I don't know, bro. That shit kind of fucked me up. I'm like, damn, my baby really gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a nigga that I was hanging with damn near every day type shit. Like, we in the studio, you know what I'm saying? He ain't really, like, that nigga was just cool as hell. He just like to do music, talk shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So this was a nigga that I was with damn near every day. So that shit kind of fucked my head up. I'm like, damn, my baby really out this bitch. Like, that's crazy as hell. Like, that was really probably one of the most unexpected shit 22.
Followed in their footsteps. But here's the thing, Band Gang wasn't just a rap crew in the eyes of the city. Alongside their affiliate squad, Shred Gang, they were painted by both the streets and law enforcement as the face of a clique backed by credit card scams and real violence. Their reputation wasn't only about music videos or lyrics. People believed the retaliations and street conflicts tied to their name had real-life consequences that went far beyond the booth. The trouble didn't start with Jizzle, it went way back. In 2015, tragedy first struck the Band Gang family when founding member Martez Two Dots Taylor was chased down and fatally shot in Detroit's busy Greektown district. The shooter, Denzel Talbert, was later hit with 17 years for manslaughter, but the damage was already done. Losing Dots was the first major heartbreak that shook the crew. By early 2016, the drama only grew darker. Federal prosecutors claimed the feud over scam profits spiraled into gunfire between Band Gang and rival crews, too much cash, and trust no one. That March, Shred Gang Booze was shot in the face at a birthday party concert in Kalamazoo, a wild moment linked to a story about Band Gang members allegedly snatching a promoter's designer glasses. Booze lived through it, but the beef between Detroit and Kalamazoo rap circles only got nastier after that. Out of that chaos, Jizzle P and fellow rapper Rocane reportedly dropped a diss track called What's the Problem? The record stirred the pot big time, pulling in heavy attention online and adding more fuel to the fire of an already tense scene. Even through the madness, Jizzle always carried himself different. While plenty of rappers leaned into raw aggression, his vibe was smoother, more polished. He rapped about ambition, success, and making smart moves.
He just wasn't that type of guy. He just wasn't. If you listen to his music, it was all boss talk. He was kind of like a payroll junior, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was S classes. It was, you know what I'm saying, yachts, yacht masters, and cathedral ceilings, and off-white this, Louis Valentino. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Even in the heat of everything, it wasn't. You will never know.
Pushing an image of style and growth over reckless retaliation. But being tied to Band Gang meant danger never stayed too far away. After his murder, rumors spread like wildfire. Many pointed fingers at the long-running feud between Band Gang and Cash Gang, two crews with bad blood stretching back years. Just weeks before Jizzle was killed, Band Gang and Shred Gang affiliates went live on Instagram, trading harsh words with Cash Gang figure 392 Lil Head. Screenshots flew across social media, and it was clear things were boiling over. 3 weeks later, Jizzle was gone, and not long after, Lil Head was spotted online celebrating. Other Cash Gang affiliates joined in on the disrespect, making the tension even worse. On Instagram Live, FWC Big Key held up an AR-style rifle and openly mocked Jizzle's death. To fans and people in the streets, these weren't just throwaway disses, these were taken as direct shots at Jizzle's name and legacy. The painful truth is, Jizzle wasn't out here chasing beef the way some thought. In his eyes, he wasn't playing that game at all. But the streets don't always
like looking over my shoulders every time I get in Detroit. I don't want to not go over my sister's house or my mama's house, because people see me, they riding down the block and they see me, they want to turn their heads and be all crazy. So yeah, I had to switch that around real.
give you that choice. His ties to Band Gang stamped him as a target, whether or not he personally had anything to do with retaliation. In Detroit, just being affiliated can be enough to put your life on the line. Still, despite all the talk, police never confirmed a direct link between Jizzle's murder and rival crews like Cash Gang or TMC. No suspects were ever officially named in the investigation. Detectives warned against speculation while they combed through evidence. Canvas searches, shell casings, hours of surveillance footage, but when it came down to it, no solid description of the shooter ever surfaced. No arrest, no justice, just questions. As of today, the murder of Band Gang Jizzle P remains unsolved. A life full of promise, cut short, and a case that still haunts the city of Detroit. Rest in peace to Jizzle, gone but never forgotten. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment with your thoughts, and I'll catch you on the next one.